ESWADE had come through for the rural community of Ngobolweni, where for a long time, rights had been privileges, water had been a luxury, and attaining education had been like climbing Mount Everest. ESWADE has equipped Ngobolweni folks with skills on proposal writing and goal alignment. Mr. Isaac Lukele tells us more.
When ESWADE came, they found us on a mission to raise our living standard. ESWADE opened our minds on many things. We wrote a book on Ngobolweni's development goals. We raised water as our first priority. We included other necessities like schools. We are very grateful that it went according to our wishes that water would be the priority. The water project is benefiting 115 homesteads.
One who has the youth has the future. ESWADE is seeing to it that Ngobolweni possesses the future. Mongens Melane, a youth organization leader, is telling us about their marriage with ESWADE and the fruits reaped thereof.
ESWADE arrived to develop us because we didn't keep bees before. Mr. Sikonze and his ESWADE crew introduced us to beekeeping. They first taught us about zones that are present here in Ngobolweni. We then started beekeeping and realized that it was a success. ESWADE proposed that we form a youth organization as the existing organization was for everyone. They wanted the youth to benefit. When ESWADE sold us the idea, we adopted it because the youth had challenges in finding jobs. The youth showed up in their numbers. We selected the required 20 people. We came here to clear this place. What you see now is a beautiful site with fencing and all. It was a vacant valley, just a forest. We came and cleared up and cleaned the place. After clearing the area, ESWADE and MTN provided us with fence. Every property that we have in this site was donated by ESWADE and MTN. ESWADE provided us with planks and nails. We constructed the boxes. We were able to trap the bees. They later fled though. The bees were producing honey in more than 5 boxes. We are left with only 1 active box. The challenges that we face is that our members got some jobs. Others went to college. We were unable to work together. The organization collapsed. I am the new chairperson. This is the greatest challenge for us. You find that due to work commitments, we live very far. Another challenge is water scarcity. You will find that when we try to trap the bees, birds would fight against them. People also jump over the fence to steal honey. This is another challenge. Our greatest challenge is water scarcity. We are not only keeping bees, but we have other projects in mind. We want to grow crops alongside beekeeping. We want a continuous income. The downside of beekeeping is that they have a season. The income generated is very low. If we can grow crops, we can generate income all year round. We need to have water. If we can have a borehole, we can be well off. River water would not help. The river dries up in winter. Otherwise, everything is running smooth. As you see that the site has been cleared. We are working. The organization is progressing. We are waiting for the coming season where you will find 20 boxes full of honey. We are grateful to ESWADE and MTN for helping us as Ngobolweni youth. Sibuko Sengobolo. We appreciate their help. We are appealing to other donors to help us. We will try to apply for help from other agencies. We have a bright future. Like I have just said, ESWADE has promised us some trees this coming summer. They will provide us with avocado trees, orange trees, just every tree that puts on flowers. We are going to sell the fruits. We are going to benefit from the avocados. The bees will benefit from the avocado tree flowers. We are hopeful that the fruits will give us some income. Should we get funds, we will continue to construct boxes. The boxes are in demand. If we can get enough money, we can buy the planks and construct the boxes for sale. This is going to be a continuous cycle that will make the organization's wealth.
You would think that a school is a necessity for every society. Well, not in Ngobolweni. Here they don't have it easy as far as education is concerned. Mr. Mandi Lukele articulates on how ESWADE addressed their predicament.
In
2018, ESWADE came to our community to talk about development. They asked us about our needs. We outlined the needs one by one. We had not started anything yet to address the needs. ESWADE said that they usually created a development goals book for each chiefdom and launch it. In 2018, ESWADE came to officially launch the development goals book. It contained everything that community members proposed. In that launch, the chief proposed that the school building project should be addressed. The chief made a presentation on the school building project. He asked for donations from those who were present. Indeed, they donated, others 100 Temalangeni, others 500 Temalangeni, and others pledged. One of those present pledged to donate 5,000 Temalangeni. I believe he figured that 500 was too little. He was from the Disaster Management Agency.
A single action is worth more than 1,000 words. Ngobolweni residents are taking action to see to it that their area is transformed. ESWADE is the fuel behind the action wheel. Mr. Paulo Slamini orates on the latest developments.
ESWADE came together with officials from the Ministry of Tinkundla to explain about rural development. They say that they can teach us about development strategies if we can outline our needs. We were asked to meet and form a development committee. It was explained that all types of people should be represented, the disabled, women, men, and also caregivers. We formed the committee and ESWADE came back to concur with us on our needs. After the development committee was elected, ESWADE took us together with the inner council to teach us about development techniques. When we came back, we called residents to a meeting and gave them the report. We told them that we needed to contemplate on our needs, propose businesses that we can start. ESWADE helped us with that process. It was agreed that we have to visit the different zones in our community and explain about the rural development. People had to voice out their needs in each zone. After putting together people's opinions and dreams as the inner council and the development committee, ESWADE took us to strategize on how to fulfill those dreams. After training, ESWADE helped us to come up with a draft of the community development goals. We had to take it to the chief so he could see it. We also showed it to community members. The chief read the draft and added his opinion. ESWADE included the chief's opinion and that of the community members. A development goals book was made out of the draft. The chief launched the book in May 2018. The book was introduced to community members. There were government officials, donors, and the people at large, including neighboring chiefdoms. In that function, the chief proposed one item from the development goals book. It was a school, a high school. It is called Mendiwa. Construction is started. It currently has 2 classrooms. The school resulted from donations asked by the chief towards its construction. People donated. They deposited money in the school account. We already had an account number because residents were already donating money. I guess we had 30,000 Malawian. People deposited money. Others who deposited money are those who said that they wanted the school to be beautiful. Indeed, just like as the chief has just advertised it. We have not spent a cent on the completed classrooms, except for spending on fencing. We had put money towards fencing. Some money is being collected. ESWADE taught us how to structure requests for donations. They pointed out that donors love to add on what we already had. We forwarded our request. Included was clean water. It was successful. We received 5,100,000 Emalangeni from micro projects. We have clean water now. We requested fence for the school. It is being processed. Other requests went to the environmental authority, especially grazing lands and filling up dongas. They are filling up the dongas as we speak. We got the required material from the environmental authority. We are busy filling up the dongas. We are restoring the landscape to its natural state. We would like to thank ESWADE. They have helped us in fulfilling our needs. We now have water, we have a school, and we have a beekeeping business. If it wasn't for ESWADE, we would not be here. ESWADE taught us how to ask for donations.
Are you wondering about what ESWADE is doing in the communities? Well, sit back as Jabulile Shongwe, a community development officer, explains.
We are at Ngobolweni, one of the 37 chiefdoms that we are working in.
In the CDP formulation is where we take the CDC, which is the Chiefdom Development Committee, for trainings. We go through the induction first, whereby we go to the chiefdoms to introduce the project, and that is where the CDC is also selected. So we take the CDCs for 3 trainings. First training is called the Training for Transformation, which is where we talk about the development as a concept within the CDCs, and how are they expected to take the concept of development within the community. Then after that, we take them for another training, which is called a strategy formulation workshop, where we invite partners, relevant partners for each and every strategy area where the CDCs have come up with a problem that they want to address in the community. So they also come up with the strategies. We give them the empowerment to come up with solutions to their own problems. Then after that, we take the strategies, we take them to become a CDP draft, which is also taken to be presented to the chief as well. But we start to present the CDP draft to the CDCs first, to make sure that whatever that is in the draft is what the CDCs came up with during the trainings. Then after that, we take the CDP draft to the chief, which is presented by the CDC chairperson. So in the CDP draft, when there is anything that the chief also wants to add, he's also given the chance to also add something that feels should be part of the development for the community. So after that, we feel the document should be also taken to the community, where also the community will also know of the aspirations that they also brought before the strategy formulation workshop. They will also input on what things they wanted to be put into the CDP. So if there's something that they need to add, they can also add during that process where the CDP draft is presented to them. Then after that, the CDP is ready to be launched. During the launching, that is where we find that there are some resource mobilization aspirations that also takes place. Like for an example, here in Ngobolweni, the chief also highlighted that within the CDP there's also a construction of a high school, where the chief did a resource mobilization, whereby guests during the launch were also requested to present whatever they wanted to contribute in order for the high school to be constructed. And that is where we also saw that there is also a water project that has also been visited during the documentary. So on the water project, they also mobilized some resources from other stakeholders that were also part of the strategy formulation workshop. So they came to the community wrote proposals to ask for money from some of the stakeholders. So some of those projects were also funded by the stakeholders. The CDP helps the community. It's a roadmap, actually, the CDP. So it helps the community to have a direction on where they want to go with regards to their development. They don't just have projects and just develop anyhow they want to do things. They only develop projects that are within the CDP. So it's just a roadmap. It helps the community to be organized. During the trainings where the CDCs are also trained, we also train them together with the inner council, because during the trainings as well, the CDC is said to be an arm of the inner council. So the inner council is able to implement development initiatives through the CDC. During the induction, the inner council, that is where they are brought on board in terms of what the project itself entails, like what the CDC is supposed to be doing in the community and what is going to happen also during the trainings. So in all the trainings, ESWADE is working with MTAD in terms of the Community Development Plan Department. So we work with MTAD. MTAD is also the one that selects the CDC in the communities. So even during some of the trainings, there's also one training that is called the envisioning, where the community is brought together to bring in aspirations. MTAD is also our partner there who coordinates such meetings. So all those aspirations are put into the CDP so that the community will know what they want and they bring solutions to their own problems. Kulokhu lesikubonile nje la eNgobolweni namuhla sijabula kakhulu sing-ESWADE ngoba sithine nje sibaniketa lwadi ikakhulukhulu siyabahlomisa ngalo lwadi kude imali esibaniketa yona. So lama CDCs nasiwayisa kulama trainings, there's a training as well on proposal writing skills and monitoring and evaluation. So kuleyo training leyo sibafundisa nje ukuthi bakhona ukuthi ibhalela bona ticelo like lama proposals babhalele labo phathini bethu labanye ukuthi batokhona kubasita lone mali etabasite ngemali lota naloko leta nabo etenako thine nje sibahlomisa ikakhulu ngelwadi. And ke namuhla kuyasithokozisa kakhulu lokuthi thina sagcina ngekuthi nasilonja sicabanga ukuthi engcenye lama projects abo amaphupho nje but namuhla lele sikubonako siyakubona kuphumelele. Siyajabula kakhulu ukuthi engcenye nashifu nje uyajabula kubona liphupho lakhe liphumelele kulama projects lankala kendiwe namuhla. Ngiyakhumbula sisafika nje la kwakude letinto leti nasifika like before the CDP formulation process ifike la eNgobolweni bebede letinto lesifike satibona namuhla lokufaka ekhathi nale ndasi la siye khona sayobona lo mfula sibonile sebadla emanti langasiwo lahlobile but namuhla sebadla emanti lahlobile and nasibuka le project vele likhaya ngelikhaya la Ngobolweni selinemali. So siyajabula kakhulu ukuthi kukhona lokusebenzisana between the CDC, ESWADE kanye nalalamanye ama stakeholders.